Hey, what is going on, guys? Alex here, and I'm back for another video. So this is my deck profile for the 2017 Dark Magician Artifact deck profile for the November ban list 2017. This deck, to you guys who have been curious on why I play it with artifacts, is absolutely hilariously fun. When I say hilarious, to see your opponent completely pissed off is ridiculous. Like, this deck, I find like Dark Magician to be one of the funnest decks around at the moment. It's very budget as well now. Like, you got loads of cards like the Dark Magical Circle, been reprinted and stuff like that. This deck is extremely fun to play and very budget as well. So you people who are on a tight budget, you can probably pick this deck up for about, I don't know, a good £40 to £50. Like, loads of cards in here have been reprinted, and I'll explain a lot in as we go further into the deck. But let's just go straight into it. So start off, standard, playing 3 Dark Magician. I don't really need to say anything. This deck it revolves around Dark Magician. You know, you want to see him on the field as soon as possible while your spells are there. Next up, we've got this baby, the card that finally got reprinted. We've got Apprentice Illusion Magician. This deck card is really kind of like an honest of the deck. Like, firstly, she's like a search card. Like, to be able to discard a card and then search a Dark Magician and special summon her is just brilliant. And to add 2k booty onto your 2k attack or booty onto your monster that might be going into attack is just brilliant. Like, the card's got so much resource. Like, you really want to see her in your hand as soon as possible. Very powerful card. Next up, I only play 2 copies of this guy because Apprentice Illusion Magician came out, but I play 2 Magician of Dark Illusion. The benefit of this card is basically he's almost like a hand trap monster. The moment you see spells activated, like either you're activating or your opponent's turn and everything, like you can just special summon him and all that. Like, he's just such a good card. The whole best part of it is it's treated as a Dark Magician on summon, and so that allows you to trigger off Dark Magical Circle, etc, etc. Like, this card is so good to play at 2. Not 3, because like, if you play it at 3, you're just gonna brick, because again, he's not really that searchable. So yeah, you just want to play two of them. 3 Magician's Rod. Normal summoning this card is really good. It's a search card again for any of your Dark Magician spell cards, which is just really what you want to see. You want to see like your Dark Magician spell and trap cards in your hand, because like this deck is highly reliant on these spell and trap cards. Really good card, because like, of course, you summon him and then you get the cards. It's just very straightforward, very basic. Really want to see him as soon as possible. Play 1 Magician's Robe. You don't have to play this. I like playing 1 just because he's got 2000 defense and he's relatively easy to summon. The best part about Magician's Robe is just the fact that, during your opponent's turn, you can activate his effect, discard a spell trap, and then, special summon a Dark Magician from your deck. And the fact that it's a quick effect as well is really good. I like this card. Just playing 1 copy of it is really good, really effective. Now going over to the Artifact engine, playing 3 Scythe. Artifact Scythe is, literally the best artifacts in the format, because the whole thing with Artifact Scythe is that, you actually just stun your opponent completely from special summoning from the extra deck. And we're going into a format where now summoning from the extra deck is pretty crucial, pretty vital in certain aspects, apart from when you're playing against decks like True Draco. But if you're playing more casually, I doubt you're going to play against True Draco. This card is just a complete stun card, 2200 attack, and is really effective card, and really forces your opponent to actually respect what's face down, because now you're playing artifacts, and you can put artifacts face down in your spell and trap zone. Your opponent really needs to respect what's face down, because if they try and pop this, then they're just going to stun themselves. So this is a really good card. People are going to question me for why I like playing this 1 copy, but I like more attack. The only reason why I like more attack is because if I find I'm in a really sticky situation and I have an Artifact Sanctum face down, I can activate Sanctum and then just summon the more attack and pop a card in the field. It's just really straightforward. I mean, like, a lot of the time, like, when you're activating Sanctum, you're really just going to be going for the Artifact Scythe straight off the bat. But like, I feel, in my opinion, that going for more attack is actually really, really good. Anyway, that is it for the monsters. We're not playing like tons and tons of monsters in this deck because like playing like too many monsters is just too annoying. Play 3 Dark Magical Circle. Dark Magical Circle is the best spell card for this deck. The whole concept of this effect is that you activate it. You see the top 3 cards of your deck, similar to like what Pot of Duality is, except you reorder the cards that you want, and then if there's like a dark magician or just like a dark magician card in the top 3, you can just add it to your hand, then reorder the cards. You don't have to shuffle. Really, really powerful card. There's a good combo you can do with Allure of Darkness if you have both cards in your both cards in your hand, which is really good. One dark magic inheritance. Like this one copy of the card is just really good. Like you're not going to activate this card all the time, but just playing one copy is really powerful because like the whole thing that you banish 2 spells and then you add a spell that you actually need at the time to your hand. It's just really, really good. 1 illusion magic. You're not gonna use this card all the time, but the reason why I like this is because there is literally nothing wrong with just tributing a monster to add 2 copies of Dark Magician to your hand. Like it really, really is a powerful card for what it does. For a lot of utility. High power card. Very, very good card. I only play 1. You don't have to play it, but I feel that this card, when I've been in sticky situations, is a really good card. So that's it just for those spells. Last spell that's Dark Magician wise is Eye of Timaeus. I only play 1. There's no point in playing multiple Eye of Timaeuses because firstly the whole concept of the card is it's not searchable. The card is not searchable, so you have to practically add it to your hand just by practically drawing, of Allure of Darkness or these sorts of cards. But this card is not searchable, so if you don't open it, it's not the end of the world. You don't necessarily need it, but to go into Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight is a brilliant play because like protecting spell and trap cards is like absolutely brilliant. So I play 1 Eye of Timaeus. Other spell cards, just for draw power, I play 3 Allure of Darkness. Allure of Darkness is just kind of standard. Standard card, like, draw 2, and then banish a dark monster. You can't go wrong with that. Double Pot Duality. A lot of the time, we are playing during our opponent's turn. When I mean that is we're interfering plays, with stuff like our artifact cards and our Dark Magician cards by banishing using the Dark Magical Circle. We don't always want to special summon during our turn unless we're going into something like a Red Eyes Flare, a Draco Sack, etc, etc. But like again, you're not always going to go into the card but opening it at first turn is actually pretty good because it allows you just to set up some plays for the start of your turn. So that's it for the spells. Let's go straight into the traps. I play 3 Eternal Soul. You want to see this card as soon as possible because its effect is just absolutely amazing for what it does. Like the way you're able to just special summon a Dark Magician from your hand or graveyard is just really good. It goes so well with with Dark Magical Circle because it's a continuous. Firstly, you special summon and then you banish a card from your on your opponent's side of the field with Dark Magical Circle effect. Very, very powerful card. Because like the whole thing it's a trap card, so you can activate it during your opponent's turn as well. But what else is really good is just the fact that like if you play like Dark Magical Attack, which I don't because I don't feel it's needed in this current format, or Thousand Knives, again I don't find it's needed. Eternal Soul really just does the job if you want to play those for searches. But I really like playing it just for the special summon reason. If you have Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight on the field, like this card's protected as well because this other effect, the fact that if it gets popped, it blows up your side of the field, is really frustrating. But you're not really going to see that quite that often, really. Moving on, other trap cards. Play 3 Magician Navigation. Like this card is just really good. Because the fact that you're able just to special summon a Dark Magician from your hand and to special summon a level 7 or lower a Dark Magician from your Magician card from your Dark Spellcaster from your deck is absolutely amazing. And then like the whole amazing part of it is just like its second effect as well when it's in the graveyard, because loads of people completely forget this effect. They just think that once the card hits the graveyard, it is dead. No, 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 no. Once the great card hits the graveyard, that's just like sort of the beginning, because you're actually able to banish, not banish, negate effects of spam trap cards. This was actually a really good card against like Spiral Resort, Dragonic Diagram, because like it actually just negates it temporarily. So it's a really powerful card. I play 3 copies because it's like one of the best trap cards, if not the best. Play 1 Dark Renewal. Dark Renewal is just really just to interfere players again. You know, like it's really, really good because you can just like, you know, send 1 monster from your side of the field and 1 monster from your opponent's side of the field. It's not a destroy, which is good. And you know what's good about that is the fact that, you know, you actually get to special summon a Dark Spellcaster from your deck or graveyard. Really, really powerful card for this deck. I like playing just, you know, the 1 copy. You never want to play 2 or 3 because you're just going to brick. 1 copy is by far enough. Moving on. 3 Artifact Sanctum. Of course, we are playing the Artifact engine in this deck. There is no reason why you should not be playing this engine. These cards are just absolutely amazing. Like the way like you punish your opponent if they pop it, but when you activate it, you get to summon your Scythe from your deck, which is just really good. This card you want to see in like face down, because the moment like you just force your opponent to like make mistakes. If they pop it, then you can destroy a card in the field. But if you want to chain it, then you can activate the effect of it, and then, you know, just really do just damage to your opponent using the scythe. And then lastly, last trap cards, you know, just double Solemn Strike. I just feel that Solemn Strike is just the go-to one. Loads of monster effects are happening this time. Like, you know, Solemn Strike is just really good. People who are wondering, like, you'll be thinking, wait, why am I not playing Maxi in this? I feel like with this deck, you just don't need it. You really just don't need it. Because the whole reason when you're playing the Artifact engine, like, the artifacts are just going to stun your opponent anyway. And if your opponent's getting stunned and can't go from your summon from their extra deck, then you're just not going to benefit from activating Maxi or something. It's just a waste of a space. But if you feel that you need to, chuck it in. I personally don't feel that I needed it. And every time I've tested this deck, I never really felt like Maxi did a lot when I was playing it. But anyway, let's carry on. Let's go straight to the extra deck. I play 1 Dark Magician Dragon Knight. This card is really good. I mean, you're not going to open him like all the time because, of course, Itemize is not searchable. But if you can open him like on first turn or something, then have like a ton of face down trap cards and spell cards that are protected because of his effect, it's so good. And like this card just played at 1 is really good. I play the 1 Ebon High Magician. I'm gonna say this, right? This extra deck is filled with fucking nothing because you're barely gonna go into any extra deck cards. You just don't need them. You really just don't need them. I only play like a few staple rank 7s, you know. The 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, you know, just stunning your opponent and forcing them to make mistakes. It's just really good. 1 Draco Sack. Yeah, this card's just really good. And I didn't really know what else to chuck in, so I just put the 1 Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger. Really punishes a few good cards that are good in defense position, like Toad and all that. And then 1 Big Eye to steal monsters. There's not really much you can play in the extra deck. You really don't need much. If I missed out on some generic rank 7s, then yeah, put it in the comment section below. Anyway, that is it for this video. If you enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up and leave a comment below. And I will talk to you guys later. Peace.